With the 5th overall pick, the Philadelphia Flyers are proud to pick Cutter Gauthier.
He is the biggest fraud in this country.
5th overall pick Cutter Gauthier was hailed as the bruising sniper who dragged the Flyers back to glory. He even pledged, "I'm built to be a Flyer." 18 months later, that same fan base showered him with boos and branded him the biggest fraud in the country before he had logged a single NHL shift for them. How did Philly's dream draft choice become its most hated runaway? From whispered ghostings and a botched Sweden sit-down to a blockbuster trade that lit sports radio on fire, this saga twists faster than a Z-turn at top speed. Quick heads up, these breakdowns swallow entire weekends and nights of research and editing. If you end up digging it, tossing a follow my way keeps the lights on and the coffee flowing. The Bell Center in Montreal was humming when the Flyers stepped to the podium for pick number 5. GM Chuck Fletcher didn't hesitate. From the U.S. National Team Development Program, Cutter Gauthier. Clips of him one-timing pucks through college netminders rolled on the Jumbotron while analyst panels gushed over his pro frame. Gauthier's grin stretched ear to ear. He gushed right back, promising Philadelphia that blue-collar edge and big-time goals were about to collide. Local talk radio instantly christened him Goots, envisioning a future where his number 19 jersey sat between Claude Giroux classics and Bobby Clark reliquaries in every South Philly sports shop. Newspaper columns called him the franchise's North Star. Prospect sites penciled him onto a future top line with Joel Farabee and Travis Konechny. Yet within weeks, subtle warning signs crept in. Friends hinted he'd keep his options open. Teammates noticed he talked more about playing in the NHL than playing for the Flyers. Nobody panicked. Lots of college draftees returned to campus. But the slightest whiff of doubt can stink up a city that's tasted betrayal before. But that devotion would sour faster than anyone imagined. Back at Boston College, Gauthier scorched the league. As a sophomore, he bullied defensemen off the puck, rifled 38 goals in 36 games, most in college hockey since the turn of the century, and stacked 65 points for a stat line so pretty it belonged in a glass case. Scouts stopped comparing him to future power forward and started whispering Matt Tkachuk with more top speed. Then came Gothenburg, Sweden, and the 2024 World Junior Championship. Wearing the stars and stripes, Gauthier torched the tournament for 12 points in 7 games, tied for the event Liad, and helped Team USA snatch gold on Swedish ice. The IIHF crowned him best forward. American fans chanted his name. Swedish reporters called his release illegal. All the while, Flyers executives Brent Flair and Danny Briere were speed dialing him. They wanted to lock in a timeline, finish the NCAA playoffs, sign an amateur tryout, burn the first year of his entry-level contract, debut to a standing ovation at Wells Fargo. Text went blue, calls rolled to voicemail. Agents said he'll circle back. The higher he climbed, the harder the fall would be. Rumors erupted that Gauthier simply did not want to play in Philly. No specific grievance leaked, no coaching clash, no locker room insult, just pure radio silence. Briere, freshly installed as GM, booked a flight to Sweden alongside team president Keith Jones. Their mission: sit Cutter down, sell the vision, fix the vibes. Except Cutter never showed. Word spread he refused the meeting outright, choosing to recover between medal round games instead. Philadelphia talk radio lost its collective mind. One host thundered, "Kid hasn't played a single DMN NHL shift and he's already ghosting the crest. Trade him yesterday." Inside the Flyers war room, phones lit up. If the relationship was doomed, maybe the prospect's skyrocketing value could fetch an NHL-ready piece. The Anaheim Ducks, stocked with young skill but desperate for a goal-scoring winger, smelled opportunity. Philly's patience snapped in the new year. 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Insiders dropped the bomb. Philadelphia ships Cutter Gauthier to Anaheim for right-shot defenseman Jamie Drysdale and a 2025 second-round pick. Twitter instantly fractures. Ducks fans celebrate robbery. Flyers fans detonate. Call-in lines overflow. A famous Philly pundit bellowed, "Biggest fraud in the country." Another mocked Gauthier's nickname. From Goots to Goofs. Hashtags Drysdale Dynasty and Cutter Quitter duel all night. Gauthier's first public words: "I did what I felt was best for my career. It's personal. No apology, no elaboration. In a town that worships blunt honesty, that curt statement landed like a slap." Across the continent, Anaheim brass smiled. Their rebuild suddenly boasted Trevor Zegras, Mason McTavish, and now a trigger-happy winger who just torched the NCAA. Next stop, a Pacific Coast debut weighed down by sky-high expectations. Gauthier inked his entry-level contract April 14th and debuted 2 nights later against Vegas. First shift, controlled exit, crisp dish, secondary assist. Ducks fans roared. Broadcasters proclaimed the youth movement fully operational. Reality set in quick. NHL defenders don't gift slot space like college kids. Through his first 15 contests, Cutter tallied 5 assists, 0 goals, and a -7. Anaheim stumbled to the Pacific basement. Critics chirped he was playing on the perimeter. Twitter drafted way too early bus takes. November 15th, Honda Center, 3rd period versus Detroit. Gauthier sprints up the left wing, drags across the right circle, and hammers a wrister under the bar. First NHL goal. He lifts both arms, relief flooding his face. Broadcasters rave about the weight of the world falling off his shoulders. Next night, he pots another and adds an assist. Momentum at last. Yet 2 dates remained etched on his calendar. December 28th, when Philly would visit Anaheim, and circled in red, January 11th back in South Broad. But 2 circled dates would define his season, and his relationship with Philly forever. Flyers at Ducks should have been another sleepy post-holiday game, but the narrative was too juicy. Media-hyped Trader versus Team Gauthier tried to treat it like business, telling reporters, just another night. The scoreboard told a different story. He managed 2 harmless shots, registered a holding minor that led to a goal against, and watched his new club fall 3-1. Philadelphia beat writers tagged him invisible, while Philly fans online memed Drysdale highlights beside Cutter's empty stat line. Still, that was California. Wells Fargo Center would be something else entirely. Philadelphia still awaited its pound of flesh. Philly had circled this date for months. Scalpers even billed it Boo Cutter Night. The venom started in warm-ups. Every stride drew wall-shaking boos, morphing into synchronized Cutter Sucks and Jamie's Better chants. On his first shift, 19,000 voices roared fraud, while Travis Konechny leaned in with a not-so-subtle offer to drop the gloves. Mid-game, Scott Lawton pasted Gauthier on the boards and slipped in a cheeky jab, igniting a scrum that only intensified the noise. The Flyers fed off the fury, racing to a 6-0 rout. Cutter finished pointless and -1, his frustration flashed on the big screen for maximum effect. As the Ducks trudged to the bus, Wells Fargo still echoed with jeers, proof that in Philadelphia some wounds never close. The Wells Fargo boos faded on the flight west, and Cutter quietly pieced together a solid rookie line. 20 goals, 25 assists, plus 9 in 83 games. Respectable, if not Calder level. Ducks coach Joel Quenneville raved about his north-south engine, and Anaheim's brass now pictures a Zagras-McTavish-Gauthier trio terrorizing the Pacific for years. May brought another gold medal with Team USA at Worlds, proof his big stage knack hadn't vanished. Yet back in Philly, sports radio runs hourly Gauthier updates, and fans are already rehearsing chants for the Ducks' next visit. In their eyes, ghosting the crest is an unforgivable sin. Can a few 35-goal seasons rewrite that narrative? Or will Cutter Gauthier skate every shift of his career with a Broad Street bullseye on his back? The answer, and his legacy, rest on the seasons ahead. Cutter Gauthier's story has everything sports fans crave. Meteoric rise, mysterious fallout, blockbuster trade, and a rivalry fueled by raw emotion. He was cheered as a savior, booed as a deserter, and now stands at the crossroads where skill collides with reputation. One more dominant season could turn the jeers into grudging respect or stamp him as Philadelphia's permanent villain. So what's your verdict? Generational scorer making a tough career call, or overhyped prospect who couldn't handle the heat? Sound off in the comments, smash that like button if you enjoyed the ride, and don't forget to subscribe, because the next chapter in hockey's wildest dramas is always just one puck drop away.